Hi, I'm Mark W. Schumann, and I have really too much going on right now to get to the studio, so deal with my living room right now. Look, what happened in Portland and Berkeley last weekend, that right there was a direct escalation of fascist violence, and the cops overtly, directly helped the bad guys. I don't mean they stood aside while the fash were whomping on some hippies, which is pretty normal. Still terrible, pretty normal. We're used to that. What I mean is that an officer shot a projectile, what they call it a flashbang device, a projectile at one of our people, hit him in the back of the head, probably would have killed him without a helmet. Um, without going into a ton of detail, because because I didn't have time to get to the studio, I didn't have time to get any coffee. I'm just going to make the point is it's supposed to be protocol in the Portland Police Department and basically everywhere that that's a type of device you only fire at the ground. It's supposed to bounce off the pavement and lose a little bit of inertia so that it's not used as a kinetic attack. Uh, they're supposed to have a little bit less power and momentum that way, and not at people by any stretch. And this is completely not what occurred in Portland. They on Saturday they straight up shot at a counter protester, one of the good guys, in the back of the head with the thing that easily could have killed him. Just it was dumb luck that it didn't. So I got on Facebook because that's what I do, and talked to several of my friends. I usually make these posts public. You can find them if you want. Where I was thinking out loud about what you could do if you were a person in Portland or also in Berkeley. Some similar crap went on in Berkeley on Sunday. Things that you could do as a person who is maybe not the type of person who's going to, throw down and literally punch literal Nazis with your literal fist in the literal street. If that's not what you do, it's not what I do. If that's not what you do, what you can do. And one of the things you can do, if you're a person with a um, certain kind of place in society and a certain type of privilege, is that you can be the one asking questions about this. You can get together people to ask questions about this. And there was some conversation about that. And I caught myself saying, hey, Mark, how come you're not doing that? You live in Cleveland. Cleveland has a cop problem. What are you going to do about it? Because this is what I preach. I say, take things in your own hands and go make things happen. I didn't get much sleep last night. I got up early to share this with you. Long story short, this is a hard conversation to have in Cleveland. My point is that every town is different, every location is different, but every location is important and relevant. One thing that makes it hard to approach your local elected officials and demand some answers on how the police are responding to fascist demonstrations and how they are openly taking the side of the bad guys is that in Cleveland we don't really have elected officials. We have some kind of zombie army that's taking up city council. Do not, they literally do not do anything without a straight up federal court order. And so, okay, let's work with that. I started to explain that process in some degree of detail, and I quickly realized it was becoming a long video, and it's the type of information that works really better in text rather than spoken. So check out the text that comes along with this video for more detail on it. But the important thing is figure out what works in your local circumstances, and if you've been wanting to fight the authoritarians, this type of thing is a very viable opportunity and channel for doing something constructive, especially if you're the type of person who maybe isn't up for the uh, straight up street confrontations, which I think most of us, that's not ordinarily what we do in our lives. So think about what you can do. Long story short, as always, We have to fight. When we fight, we always win. I'm Mark W. Schuman. Check the comments.